Hi, this is Dr. Lori M. Hobson, also known as Dr. Lori. I just want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share with you my 5 tips for finding your beauty and becoming president of your own fan club. So let's just start right off with tip number 1. Tip 1 is know who you are. All of us have things about us that need improvement. All of us have things about us that are just fine. And all of us have things about us that are absolutely magnificent that we don't need to change a thing. You have to know what all those things are. Tip number 2, accept who you are. Now that sounds kind of like knowing who you are, but there is actually a big difference between knowing who you are and accepting who you are. Accepting who you are means loving yourself through the good and the bad and everything in between. Loving that part of you that needs improvement, loving that part of you that's just fine, and loving that part of you that is absolutely magnificent. It is, for example, let's say you're 5 feet 5 inches tall and you're grown, and you've always wanted to be 6 feet tall. Accepting the fact that you are not going to be 6 feet tall and loving yourself anyway. Tip number 3, make a list of your gifts, skills, and talents. Now, there is a website. If you don't know, you might be one of those people who can just make that list without any problem. And then again, you might be one of those people, like a lot of people I run into at my workshops, who have kind of a hard time making that list. I always ask people to make a list of the things about you that are wonderful. And sometimes they have a really hard time with that. If you happen to be one of those people who either has a hard time or is curious about what your gifts and talents are, or unsure of what your gifts and your talents are, there is a website that you can go to that you can take a free survey. It only takes about 15 minutes. You get your results right away. And this survey is based on the gifts that are outlined in the Bible in Romans 12. There are 7 gifts, and they are perceiver, teacher, encourager, ruler, server, showing mercy, and giver. Like I said, it'll take you maybe 15 or 20 minutes to go through the questions and answer them, and you get your results right away. Now, that website is www.gifttest.org. That's www.gifttest.org. Again, www.gifttest.org. Tip number 4, take an inventory of the people closest to you. Now, this particular tip is probably be one of the hardest ones that you will have to do, because there are people in your life, most likely, that have been in your life for as long as you can remember. Some of those people are wonderful and positive, and they add to the value of your life. And there may be some people who are negative and don't add to the value of your life. And sometimes it's kind of tough, because even the negative people who don't add value or who do you harm may be people who love you and who you love. And so it's really hard to take a look at that and look at it for what it's worth, and to begin to make the changes that you're really going to need to have more positive and productive people in your life. Now, the best way to explain this inventory is I'm going to use a quote from my book, Mama Sayings and Life Reflections. And this book has many different quotes, many words of wisdom from many people, but I am going to use a quote from Minister Ivy McGregor. And Ivy says, everyone needs to have ones, twos, and threes in their lives. Ones are the people you look up to. If you have too many ones, you will always be reaching up, and you may never feel as if you measure up. Twos are the people who are just like you. They're your peers. They will keep you right where you are and help you make excuses for not improving yourself. Threes are the people who look up to you. It's important to be a mentor and role model. And once you give and achieve, you should reach back and give back. I'm a firm believer in that. But too many threes can make you think more of yourself than you should, and that can also impede your growth. Just think, if you think you're perfect and your threes think you're perfect, then you don't have a whole lot to aspire to, do you? And we all know that there's always something about us that can be improved. And that brings us to tip number 5. Practice daily affirmations. And an affirmation is simply a positive statement that you make to yourself on a daily basis. The best affirmations are the ones that you write for yourself. However, if you're not one of those people who can come up with affirmations or positive statements, you can find them anywhere. You can find them in my book, Mama Sayings and Life Reflections. If you'd like, the end of the book, the final chapter, has a list of positive affirmations that you can use. You can also go to any search engine and type in positive affirmations, and you can get hundreds of them. So there's no excuse for not using daily positive affirmations. And an affirmation can be as simple as, I am the greatest. Or it can be, I'm so grateful to be alive. Or I'm a good teacher, mother, friend, sister, brother, whatever. The best ones, again, are the ones that you write for yourself. Now, of course, my personal favorite is, I am president of my own fan club. This is Dr. Lori, president of your fan club as well. But I am willing to give up that job as soon as you are ready to take it over. Have a blessed day, and I hope to talk to you again very soon. Much love.